to create the best sales meeting in the mortgage industry every single Tuesday. Today, I have the one and only Casey Cunningham. What's up, Casey?
What's up, David? It's so good to see you. You still
Good
look great in your black shirt.
I know. Which shirt am I going to wear today? This black one or that black one?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
Well, I wore this black one. My wife said it had a stain on it, but I'm like, I can't see it.
Hey,
know?
I used to wear black a lot, and everybody asked me if I was trying to buck a trend. I'm like, maybe that might be a good idea. Think how cheap and easy it'd be. Is that your wardrobe, black?
Well, I have a lot of black shirts, but I just don't like to make decisions. I mean, I'm going to Mastermind after this call, and I do have one non-black shirt. So for all you in the mortgage coach community, there'll be at least one night I'm out on the town without a black shirt on. Or maybe I'll just wear my black shirts 2 times, I don't know.
Wash them between you.
All right, I will. All right, guys. So there's a lot happening in the mortgage space. I saw a lot of announcements on Facebook since the last time I did a call where people were having record months. I mean, people were getting after it in April. People killed it in May. And I mean, I think all in all, people are pretty fired up about the marketplace we're in. What do you think, Casey?
Yeah, I'm here, and it's an amazing market right now for the loan officer specifically, and the managers maybe, and not so much for the companies. They're starting to see some profits again, but there's still lots of dialogue behind the scenes of what's going on with the different M&As that are potentially going to happen. So lots of rumors there, but yeah, people are busier than ever. And Dave, I got to tell you, I just love coming into your group because these are super achievers. They don't attend this unless they want to grow. And so
that is true. They're
my kind of people. We're on the same wavelength. They want to grow. I want to help them grow. And what a privilege it is to be with you today. So it's good to see you in your black shirt.
Well, the last time I interviewed you, it was for sure the most viewed video of the year. And it was probably the most viewed video in a number of years. So guys, last time I interviewed Casey, it was all about it was a playbook for new loan officers. If you are a new loan officer or you know a new loan officer, there'll be a link down below. That was a call just for new producers to get after it and not wait a year to do it. Like, how can you kill it in your first 90 days? How can you kill it in your first 6 months? And so check that out down below. Casey is known for that. But I think the other thing Casey's known for is just how to 2X your business. So Casey, before I hand it off to you, I want to go through the community just for a minute or two. If you are not in our Facebook group, make sure you become part of this, assuming you're in the mortgage business. And you need to be one of, not the third person, a spammer, and someone that's pushing content you want to share with the mortgage industry. But if you are one killing it and you have a question or you want to share a success story, we want you active in this group. And if you're struggling, but you want to kill it, we want you active. We want you sharing questions. We want you asking questions. We want you active. So just going through a few updates at the top. Starts with Casey Cunningham. So Casey, you're going to crush it. I'll hand it off to you in a minute. I'm going to be at the Mortgage Mastermind Summit in Las Vegas in literally a couple hours. I've got a couple hundred stickers. If you want a mortgage coach sticker, the code word is Dave. I want a sticker, and I've done X TCAs. And by the way, if you haven't done any, and I've never done a total cost analysis, or if you've done 1,000, it's in there. So just come up, say you want a sticker, and tell me how many times you've done a total cost analysis. And even if it's 0, I'll still let you in the count. Looks like we've got someone who's killing it with a mortgage coach, Greg Anderson. So that's one announcement. And then I got a couple more announcements. And then Casey, it is all you. I'm only 2 minutes into this. Guys, this interview with Kelly Zitlow, I don't care whether you're new. I don't care whether you're closing $100 million a year in business. Watch this interview. Kelly kills it. $80 million producer. The way she is doing business, just a hybrid of high touch, high tech, I think is just like the epitome of how people should show up. And in this particular interview, it was really simple stuff. Like, how do I turn MI options into a competitive advantage? I mean, just like every day you're talking to people like, should I buy out my MI? Should I do monthly MI? Should I do annual MI? How to turn that into a wow. Watch this interview. It's classic, couple good scripts, and Kelly just kills it. So check it out. Yesterday, we launched a new update to our app, and it is the biggest new design, the biggest update we've ever launched in the company history. I'm not going to do an elevator pitch on it. I would just tell you it's killer. So whether you have an Android, whether you have Apple, update your Mortgage Coach app and be prepared to be wowed. Sean Herrera sent me a text yesterday saying, so sexy. This is killer. So put a post down below if you like it. Check it out. I think it's crazy good. I interviewed Julian Hiberon a couple weeks ago. And we were going through the basis point. If you're not following thebasispoint.com, follow it. Great place to get news and insights. But the thing I liked about this is he took Zillow news, Redfin news, and then he put a spin on it. And him and I together put a spin on it that really helps you show up and deliver. So let's face it, realtors are getting disrupted, and they're getting concerned of being disrupted. To be able to take news that's happening in the market and then make it a topic and then deliver a service. I don't know. I think it's smart. Check it out. And then one more update, and then my 5 minutes is up, and you're up, Casey. Amanda Gilbert. She is someone I have been following on Facebook for about a year. She's going on a year and a half in the business, new loan officer. Casey, she watched our interview, got value from it. So she's going on her year and a half anniversary. She just closed 10 loans. So guys, to me, that's that milestone where I don't care how successful you are, how successful you're not. The first month you close 10 loans is pretty cool. And she hit that milestone. She's killing it on Facebook, just the way I called it extreme authenticity with Amanda Gilbert. Check it out. I just think she's doing really smart things with tech. And then I think the way she's high touch, high tech, it's a playbook for new loan officers. So Casey, any comments before I hand it off to you?
Yeah, what a privilege it is to see new people get in. I mean, come on, Dave, we all were new at one point, and we probably all remember the first loan we closed, hopefully, and especially when you hit that 10-month closing, man, that's like a milestone of everyone's career. So kudos to her. Obviously, I'm thrilled for her and for all our students who are newbies, because we tend to be the ground zero of the industry. Everybody's looking at us to say, how do you get newbies in? So we're hitting 4.6 apps the first 30 days in the market. So that's amazing. Ours is to get them to 4 closed loans fast, then 6, then 8, then 10. So I'm huge kudos to her. Big props, big props. I'll go send her a little message in the group for sure.
Yeah, send her a message, and I'm going to pull up, because that interview we did, I just think is so important. And if you're not tuned into Casey, I mean, she's got a podcast, she's got a lot of media, follow her. If you're new in the business and you have not gone through her program, if you have not followed her content, it's just, think of it like this. You want to be the best. It's a miss. You can be good, but you can't be great if you're not on the Mortgage Coach team and you haven't been through your program. So I do believe in that. That's why I'm interviewing you. So let's get started. And I do want to remind everybody watching this, if we say something that you like this in Facebook, like this in YouTube, and share it. If you're a manager and a leader, hey, it won't hurt our feelings if you play a recording of this at your next sales meeting. So make the most of the content we're going to create. And if you're watching it live right now, we will answer questions live. And if you're watching a recording and you post a question below, we'll answer it. So Casey, what's some of the biggest mistakes you see made? And let's assume that every question I ask you, 2x my business. I don't care where I'm at. I'm 2xing it fast. What are the biggest mistakes people are making?
I will tell you this, Dave. Every suggestion I'm going to give you, just pick one. Just pick one. And that will 2x your business. I think the biggest challenge for loan officers, they try to do it all. Everybody's trying to figure out the Facebook, the social media, their database, etc. So I'm going to give some tips. And today, because we have limited time, I can't teach it all, but I can certainly share a high level, focus on this initiative, and you're going to win in 2x quickly. Now, there are some initiatives I do believe will get you there faster. So I'll put that emphasis on it. So, hey, Dave, I do have something for your followers and everyone. And so I'm going to share screen. Is that okay? And I'll use that as a visual.
Yeah,
And
share your screen. Bring as much value as you want. We're ready for you.
all
I'll
right,
tell you when I see it.
and I will give everybody some tutelage on how to get this in just a moment. So let me just share my screen and you tell me if you can see it, Dave.
Boom. The ultimate loan production playbook. 7 power plays to close new business in any market. Bring it.
And listen, last time, Dave, I gave the new LO playbook. So I feel like, you know, the experienced LOs, they can't be left out, right? So the biggest mistake, if you said, Casey, what are people missing? Even the top producers that are listening right now, by the way, again, Dave, one thing I love about your community is these guys are passionate about learning and growing, or they wouldn't be using a mortgage coach and they wouldn't look at on the TCAs and doing them on a regular basis. So kudos to you guys. But let me share with you an area that, based on our studies, our research, statistics have proven is the biggest area of mistake, and that's your database. Most of you have a database by now. I mean, goodness gracious, back in the old days, no one had it, and then it was Excel spreadsheet. Now some people have it, but I'm going to bet the majority of you do not put enough emphasis on your database. So Dave, you'll love this. So I had a top producer fly in to meet with me in a private session. He didn't want to come into our regular sessions, and he wanted a private, and he had to pay for that. But of course, by the way, he was doing 400 units a year. So mortgage coach community, listen up. This was amazing, right? 400 units, killing it. But he wants to double his business in a down year. He wants to go to 800. And after talking to him on the phone for a good hour, I said, here's what you need to do. And you got to put a plan behind my recommendations. And he's like, I want you to help me. So anyway, flies in. By the end of the day, this was his largest miss. And by the way, it's almost the largest miss on all top producers. Here's how you'll know if you're doing well on your database. Now, a database, by the way, are current customers, past customers. Let me be very clear. Past customers, anyone that knows your name or you know their name and they got into your database. So if you're at the mall, you run into someone and you decide to put them in your database, whether they were a purchaser or not, but they are in your database. So do you see that last bullet right here, Dave, that says a survey done by Merrill Lynch?
I do. Yeah.
If you have 1,000 people in your database right now, you should be getting 200 loans a year from your database. 20% of it should be coming back to you every year. It's been proven that 20% of your database is getting a loan every year. So how's everybody doing? So are you getting 20% of them? And are you retaining those guys? And if you're not, there's a huge opportunity. Now, if you're not sure what your database is worth, I'll send you this. I'll again tell you how to get it, but you can click here and there's a database opportunity calculator. You'll love it, because what we're going to do is help you quantify exactly how much money you're losing by not focusing on this play.
Casey, real quick, I want to insert something real quick here, because we talk about this a lot, and there's no doubt it's, depending on the market and the database, it's 17 to 25%. So 20 is a great number. And guys, 10%, half, you know, like if you're not getting 10%, you're blowing it. And then I do also want to remind folks in the community, we're big fans of Sales Boomerang, and Sales Boomerang has a service that literally you can give them your past customer database and they'll tell you how many transactions did you lose last year and who did they do the loan with. Now, I think they do that for individual loan officers. I know they do that for companies. So Sales Boomerang, let them know that Casey and Mortgage Coach sent you, but get after it. Keep going, Casey. Okay. This is awesome.
Let me give you some tactics of things you can do with your database, okay? First of all, everybody, we know you can plug them in and play. Plug and play means I plugged them in, never have to think about it again. They're getting a monthly newsletter, monthly email, monthly recipe, whatever it is. But if it is not getting you 20% of your database to come back to you every year, there's an opportunity miss. So what is it? Are you calling them? That's like the simplest discipline you could make. And I would challenge everybody that's listening in, make 10 database calls a day. You know, I've heard multiple different methods out there. Call your A's, your B's, your C's, rotate them out, whatever it might be. Call 10 a day, call 20 a day. But just become real disciplined, and you'll hear Power Play 7 in a minute, because this is the book of 7 Power Plays, is the simplest disciplines are the ones that are going to drive the greatest results. But here's the challenge, Dave, what most people do is they try it once and it doesn't work. Marketing is an it's never-ending process. You got to hit them all the time. So I would challenge everybody for the next 30 days, just try 10 a day and see what happens to your business. Now, if you don't know what to say, that's obviously things we teach, but you can download this quick little template that says, here's all the different topics that you could easily pivot in the conversation depending on what you do. So if you want to download that, you can, and it just gives you high-level topics of things that you could say to your database. The easiest thing to miss is not calling. Just keep them on the rotation, but I'm going to challenge you to do two things. One, make sure your database is consistently growing. If you don't know how to grow your database beyond just your past customers, there's a miss. And then the second is, are you calling them on a regular basis beyond just mailing? Because I'm going to make the assumption that you are mailing to them on a regular basis. Mailing, emailing, texting, whatever it might be, there's some form of touch points on a regular basis. But let me tell you, I've got a loan officer that I've used, and I get something in the mail from him all the time. I get an email from him all the time. I know for a fact that I'm just in a campaign of his. It doesn't feel personal. I don't really feel attachment to him. But when he calls me, that's a different conversation. So just that's probably the biggest miss for all producers in the country today. Again, challenging them. Are you getting a minimum of 20% of your business from your database? That's how you'll know if it's a miss for you. And if it's not, then wait for the next power play. So what do you think, Dave? Am I on point? Because I know you've had lots of speakers, lots of amazing people.
Yeah, no, you're very on point. And I say year after year, month after month, make this your number one priority. And if you make this your number one priority, you will just show up different at the point of sale. You know, if you are really loving on your customers, calling them, video, you know, one-to-one, text-to-text video, you're doing an annual review. You know, if you're just doing these simple imperatives, you're going to show up different at the point of sale. You're going to be able to make this comment that, hey, yeah, I'm going to close your loan on time. Yeah, you're going to get a great rate, but I'm going to help you build wealth with real estate, and I'm going to manage your mortgage over time. Like when you say that, and it's not just a script, but you actually do that, you win more at the point of sale. You get 10 to 20% of your past customers. So no, I'm very on point. My last piece on this is that this is also a value prop for your realtors. Like if you are who Casey is telling you you are, you're going to be able to show up different, that like, hey, realtor, I've got a database. This is how I work it. This is the kind of business I get out of that. I can bring that to your database. I can help you get more sales and purchases. Because here's the deal, guys. Local professionals need to stick together. We need to help each other. And so if you are this customer database first LO, you're going to kill it. And then you're also going to bring more value to your partners. So keep it rocking. Couldn't agree more.
So Dave, I do want to address because people will go, what's the database? Is it just what's in my CRM basically? Or is it LinkedIn, Facebook, all my social presence? Those are all considered part of your database, if you will, but you got to consolidate it to where it's got a full plan behind it. So it does begin with understanding, keeping it as real as possible, but getting it solidified. And to me, if I don't have them in one central location, I don't know if I have them. So in my mind, it's getting everybody consolidated. So. All right. So,
love it. Hey, Casey, one real quick question. A few people have already asked, are you going to make the slides available?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, we'll put those and we'll upload them into our Facebook group, Mortgage Coach Productivity Mastermind. There'll be a file with the title of this, and anything Casey shares, we'll put a link down below. So whether you're watching this in Facebook or you're watching this in YouTube and you want to download this, look down below. And there'll be a link to Casey's material and how to download this stuff. Keep it going.
Got it. All right. So, you know, I'm often asked, are realtors going to be the main source of business still? And yes, of course they are. I mean, statistically, it's been proven that realtors are one of the main 5 key opportunities. So let me touch on this for a moment. Somebody said to me the other day, who was I talking to? It was one of your guys that's in your group. He's like, you got the 50 plus LO, right? That's still focused on realtors in their database. And then you got the guy that's 35 that's going to play on social. And I'm like, yeah. And the reality is the driver still is the realtor. Now, does that mean it's going to stay that way long term? I don't know, but why wouldn't you go after the realtor community who obviously is going to have the same purpose you have, and that's to help the home buyer? And so there's some quick questions I'm going to challenge everybody on, and that's, how are you driving the business with the realtors? And there's the old methodology of, hey, do you have a loan for me? And then the new one, which is, let's have a relationship. And that's really where our industry is starting to evolve, where people are realizing sales is about relationships. It's not transactional. Anybody listening in who's struggling right now, I'm going to tell you, you're probably struggling because you're doing transactions. You're not doing relationships. And how do you build relationships, and how do you drive it with the realtor referrals? So I thought I'd give you some quick tips here. There's 8 ways to get successful realtor referrals. I want to touch on a couple of these again. I'll have the download for you guys. The first one is every Friday, that's when the realtors are out in the market and they're showing the homes, if you will. That's the main area for you to remember, that you want to be the last thing they hear about, know about. So Friday phone calls is just a simple discipline you can do every Friday. Hey, how you doing? Just checking in. Hope you have a great weekend. Not sure if you're showing anybody homes this weekend, but I'm available. I'm working this weekend if you are. That's an easy script. And if you're not working this weekend because you evolved or you don't, you can just say, hey, I'll check in with you on Monday morning and see if I can help you with anything. I just wanted to wish you and your family an amazing weekend. I'm taking my kids to the zoo. So personalizing it. So that's the Friday phone calls. Some of these others are real self-explanatory, but what you may notice is, we're in a different era today. It's not just about asking for business, but it's about serving up value to others. So industry articles, videos of motivation, sales tips, articles that are related to their or inspirational, and market updates. But you see the top right one on the screen, everyone? I don't know if anybody's commenting. Feel free to interrupt me if they are, Dave, if they have questions. But guys, I got to tell you, one of the easiest ways to really become relatable is to be relatable about them. Like, what do they love to do? Listen, I love to fly fish. I could fly fish 24 hours a day. I absolutely have a passion for it. So that's a hobby I have. It's an easy one. And quite often, I'm in the middle of conversations with potential vendors trying to come after me for business. No one ever asked me, like, what do you like to do? Who are you? They just see me as a ticket or a paycheck. They don't see me as a human being. And I would challenge all of you, of every referral source you have, being realtors right now, the ones that are the main ones, and I'll talk about that in a moment, do you know things personally about them? Because if you don't really have a relationship. You just have a transactional person there. You don't have a relationship, and relationships are hard to break. So I might challenge you to really learn about them. The last thing on the bottom right, this is probably the easiest thing from a marketing standpoint. You guys are out on social, we all are. There's a thing called social proof. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that term. Social proof means I could tell you how good I am, but it's not going to be near as valuable if I tell you I'm good, right? You're like, yeah, you're a little biased, of course, because, right, I want you to buy. But if I have a customer tell you how good I am, then you'll believe them. That's called social proof. How well have you social proofed your business? So my challenge for you, this is an easy way to double your business. Now listen when I say this. You got a first-time home buyer who shopped you, they went to someone else, they got messed up, they came back to you and said, oh my God, you saved the day. Y'all know the drill. Do you have them write a testimonial? They'll probably send you an email telling you how amazing you are. Are you using that to future home buyers who are shopping you? And see, there's this implication that they call you, you hang up, they go, I'm shopping around, whatever it might be. Are you saying, totally can appreciate that, and listen, I'm going to send you some bit of information, and you immediately send that testimonial that says, oh my God, I was shopping and I'm so glad I came back to you after I got messed up. So customer testimonials pivot people away from ever thinking twice about using you. But most LOs don't have this whole bank of testimonials they're leveraging. So Dave, is that, do you find that your guys are using their testimonials?
Absolutely. Can't help it, but folks, we added the social survey integration to Mortgage Coach. So, now in a total cost analysis, your social survey, whether it's a realtor testimonial or a family testimonial, is integrated and shows up. We find that as a big best practice. So So two things I want to add to the list, and then I got a question for you, Casey. So one thing I want to add to the list that I've been seeing more and more as I've been interviewing top producers, and Brian Manning out of Boulder, who closed 20 loans last month, is a great example of this, where he's also doing video to video to his realtors. And again, bomb's great, email video is great, but I'm talking about just picking up your phone, going into text, clicking video, putting it on you, and a 30-second video like, hey, I'm working this weekend. You're important to me and I'm here for you. You know, saying their name, connecting with them personally, one-to-one, text-to-text videos to realtors should be part of how you communicate, how you add value, and how you create a personal connection. And then, you know, a term I've been using a lot, and you almost said it when you started this, I've been talking about going from transactional to transformational. And I think as local realtors and local mortgage pros, one, we need to stick together and we need to go from transaction to transformational. And let me tell you what I mean. Like if you're helping a first-time home buyer, you're helping them go from renting to owning. And there is a transformational 10-year, 20-year wealth building impact. You have helped transform them from renting and paying someone else's mortgage to building wealth with real estate. And then there's also a lifestyle impact. They went from X bedrooms in X school district to X bedrooms in X school district. So there's a lifestyle transformation that we need to focus on, and there's a financial transformation. So one of the things we've been talking a lot, and I'm actually going to push a challenge either later today or tomorrow in the mortgage coach community, where we start creating little 3-minute videos that are like story sellings, where we tell a story about a family that we took from, and we're not going to use the term transaction to transformational, but we're going to talk about, hey, I had a family. They were renting. They were paying someone else's mortgage. They, you know, got a mortgage, got a home for less than they thought, and they got a lifestyle. So it's financial wealth building and it's lifestyle. So I would just put in this, we need to do a better job of telling those transformational stories as local mortgage professionals. And we need to partner with our realtors. Like we need to help realtors do a better job of this, because they just sell a home and go to the next one. They just help someone buy a home and go to the next one. And they're not doing a good job of really telling the transformational stories that we create every day. So guys, keep an eye out on a contest and a challenge. Casey, when you see it, if you want to be one of my judges and be part of it, I would love that. Okay, so there we go. Casey volunteered, and she doesn't even know what she volunteered for, but we're gonna help you go from transaction to transformational this year. So stay tuned.
So
Casey.
I love something. Dave, you couldn't be more spot on. First of all, everybody, you ready? I got to show you a video because Dave actually practiced what he preaches just now, right? Check out yesterday. He sent me a video just to talk to me. Like, he didn't send me a text. I'm like, oh, man, I got to watch his video. But it was short. It was on point. You look good. I tried to videotape you back, but I was having a bad hair day. But here's the reality, okay? It's about being personal. And I love it. Dave, I was about to talk to you about storytelling, right? Your emails, your way you communicate is about telling a story, and it is about being incredibly authentic. And I got to just applaud you for what you're doing in your community, because you definitely are making an impact. So Dave, realtor referrals are still going to be the highlight. I have a real passion about a topic, and if you don't mind, I think I want to just jump over into it for a moment.
Boom.
It's the loan application. Okay, so most of you have probably automated it by now. Some of you have not. Some of you still want to meet with them. It's really interesting to me how many top producers I talk to who are still doing it on the back of a napkin. But and then there's those that have evolved, that have really figured out scale. The value of that application is beyond anything you can imagine, and it is very often one of the missed opportunities. So if you want to double your business, I want to challenge the community, and I don't know if I've ever shared this, Dave, but for all of you listening right now, if you get one customer to give you 2 referrals in their lifetime, 2, by the way, 2 is nothing, right? You're thinking, oh man, if I can't get a customer to give me 2 referrals, then how would I stay in business? The reality is, that one customer when that perfect app that says, oh my gosh, this was the most amazing experience, is my greatest opportunity to get more business. And it will amplify. You should never have to look for business again if you're doing an amazing job on the front end. So the application itself, just the application, all right? So you're saying, Casey, this is about doubling my business, all right? So you guys have applications scheduled today. You're doing a TCA in it. One of the questions, and Dave, you can jump in and tell me, are you asking for referrals? And some of the questions I'm going to ask, and again, you guys will get this for free, complimentary, is we call it the 6th page of the 1003, okay? What does that mean? I'm going to ask questions that aren't on the 1003. I'm going to ask questions that they didn't have to answer. Who's your CPA, financial planner, stockbroker, insurance agent? Who can I call on your behalf? And that says you referred me to them. So I'll double my business by just asking for the other referral sources that potentially didn't even send me that customer. And so this gives you ideas of questions you should ask, things you can consider, and it also creates the story where it asks some personal things about you and your family, so that the next time they call me, man, I got this in my database, and I can go, how's Susie and Johnny doing? Last time I talked, they were playing soccer. So it's crazy stuff that creates the lifetime connection. But you can't even earn the right to ask all this if you haven't taken a perfect app. Because the loan officers of the old days that would high five about how fast they could take it, or I never meet my customer, or now today it's like I put them online, I don't even talk to them. They're missing the point of creating that relationship and that transformational piece. I know you guys are doing TCAs and really personalizing the long-term vision of their home being really wet, and that you're helping them financially in a bigger way. Take it a step further and really create a longer-term relationship. And this document, by the way, will help prompt you with some ideas. Of course, we teach it in more detail in our classes, but this will get you guys started because you're pretty sharp. You guys know what you're doing. But applaud you or welcome you to take a hold of this. What did you think?
So I love it. You're giving us tons of value. I can't remember who I interviewed earlier this year, but it was Michelle Town, and $100 million producer out of Orange County. And she said, I am redefining what success is for a client at the close of escrow. And it's always been closing it on time, getting a 5-star review, so getting an actual review and testimonial. But she said, this year, I want to get a referral during the transaction. So that I can not only get that referral, but I'm training them to be a client for life and give me referrals. So I think what you just shared, are some tactics to get there. Remember, folks, if you are not delivering a total cost analysis experience, it's good. It's just not the best. You cannot be delivering the best point of sale experience without that family getting their own personalized total cost analysis, showing the transactional details and the transformational details. So that transaction and transformation is all in one place. Casey, you are killing it. So I got a question for you.
Yes. Well, let me just add something real quick. When, as a loan officer, customer calls, says, hey, this is Sue Smith, right? I got an assistant who's taking the call. She immediately looks up in the database, hey, I'm a previous customer, Sue Smith. By the time I'm on the phone with Sue, I'm like, oh my God, Sue, how's David doing? And she's like, you remember me? Heck no, I don't remember you, but of course I remember you, right? And last time we talked, you were going to a tournament. All of this is in my database. And I'm going to tell you that it all begins with the perfect app. Because see, my mentality is if I take a perfect app, I've earned the right on the same day of the perfect app for future referrals. But now I'm building my pipeline forever. I'm going to try to get something while we're chatting here. I need one of my team members, I think is in the other room. I'm going to have them send me an email on something because I want to show you guys a visual that's going to make your head go, because it'll tell you the value of just one customer today, and to make sure that you absolutely, with passion, realize that they are the most valuable asset you have in your business.
Love that. And before I ask the question, you reminded me when I interviewed Kelly, one of the things that she's doing this year, she was like, hey, I'm asking these questions. What are your hopes, dreams, and goals? But I'm writing down what's the number one long-term most valuable thing for that client. What's the number one? So I am putting links to these interviews. I put a link to my last interview around how to fast track your success as a new loan officer with Casey. It's down below and it's in Facebook. I put a link to the Brian Manning interview, and I just put a link to the Kelly Zitlow interview. So here's a question for you. You know, what, if there was one thing that's most critical to the sales process or the sales approach, what would be that one thing that's most critical?
Oh my goodness. You got to know that not all referral sources are created equal. I think you guys probably know that, right? So when you say, I'm going to sell someone, and let's go away from the customer for a moment, yes, your referral sources. One of the largest mistakes that most loan officers make, and beyond not going after their database effectively, taking perfect loan apps, I mean, nailing those, they aren't realizing that all referral sources aren't created equal. Now, I'm going to guess that your mortgage coach community may get this, but I'm going to challenge them for a moment. Do they qualify, prioritize, and research? Do they actually know in their market the exact top realtors, builders, CPAs, except financial planners, stockbrokers, insurance agents, and do they actually have a criteria to spend time with them? See, my mentality right now is the most valuable asset you have is your time, right? You can't get it back. Who you spend that time with is an important decision. Today is a good example. Every Tuesday, yeah, being here, being in these sales meetings, making sure you're driving success, hearing different ideas, capturing it, but don't confuse it, is you got to take active practice. But on this one, the sales approach has to begin with a quality referral source. Now at Zenix, we call them key targets. We do teach and how to create a key target list, how to know what the criteria is, but hey, let me make it easy for all of you. Take a piece of paper out today. If you haven't been into the EDGE program of Zenix, I'll just give you some quick insight. Take a piece of paper out, and I want to challenge you to write down your top 25 key targets. Let me say that again. Top 25 key targets. And by the way, these aren't the people that just like you and love you that can send you one a year. These are the guys that are the power players in your market that you may or may not have their business. Okay? So what is it? Who are they? And do you know who those 25 are? And are you prioritizing them by high to low, not based on relationship, but the biggest producers at the top to the bottom, but the top 25, that's where you spend your time. So if you're going to have any kind of sales approach in the market, you're going to try to go get referral business from realtors, builders, whoever it might be. And that is a bucket, a channel that we highly recommend. You got to have a consistent referral business. Is you got to know who the best players are. So don't spend time with people that aren't worthy of your time. It doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to the realtor who can send me one or two, or a builder who's doing a little bit of building, but I'm certainly not going to spend a majority of my time there. I'm going to spend it with the time with people that will appreciate my services. You guys have, and I got to tell you, you didn't ask me to say this, Dave, about Mortgage Coach, but you guys have something unique that most loan officers don't have when you have the TCA. So you can easily earn the right to get to the biggest ones to say, let me show you why I'm the most professional and I'm the best in the market and what I'm going to do for your customers. And so anyway, that's a big miss on a sales approach, is everybody's going after everyone. There's a lot of noise out there where you need to spend time with the right ones.
So first of all, thank you for saying that. And it is true. You could say that, hey, I'm going to help create urgency. I'm going to help deliver a better level of service and value so that your customers understand, you know, how this next real estate move achieves their goals, and you can show it to them. So absolutely true. I want you guys to do something I just thought of, and I was picturing it when I was hearing Casey. I want you to create a circle, and then literally, do you know who the top 25 dream clients are in your market? Are they in your database? Do you have their email address? Do you have their mobile phone number? Are you connected with them on social media? You know, so, you know, have you even created that list? But think of that as a circle. And then I want to think of another circle of the people that know you, like you, and trust you, regardless of their success level. And the goal is that literally those circles are the same. You know, like but hopefully there's some overlap. Out of the 25 dream clients, 2 or 3 of them are on your list of the 25 people that know you, like you, and trust you. By the way, not people, realtors, referral partners. But I want you guys, as an exercise, what Casey just did is schedule a half hour to an hour and If you have that database and you know who it is, great. Still spend some time and reflect on how you can be more intentional about it. But if you don't, get clear and then get to work on it. And remember what Casey said when we started this? She shared like 7 ideas. If you executed on one of these ideas, you could 2x your business. I mean, the past customer database, when I talk to top loan officers, usually it's a 2 to 3x their business if they just executed. And remember, guys, maybe you need to add another assistant. You need to, if you've got a big team and you're killing it, you just need to resource it. That's the thing, you know. But if you're closing less than 8 loans a month, you are the resource. Get after it. If you're closing more 8 loans a month, make sure you're resourcing to get that done. So Casey, loyalty. You know, I don't know if it's just a thing of the past, but I have to believe there's things that we could do to drive, you know, loyalty from referral sources. What are some ideas on that?
By the way, I am very opinionated about assistants and how to leverage them. So that may be a topic for another day, assuming your mortgage coach community would like to hear about how do you build the power team, something we can talk about later.
Hey, guys, if you like and you want Casey and I to do a call on how to get a team, you know, so if you don't have a team, what's the path to getting there? And if you have a team, how can you effectively manage and grow that team and lead that team? If you want us to talk about, let us know down below, and Casey and I will prioritize that. Also, guys, whoever, I don't know, Casey, would you, if I picked someone from the mortgage coach community and I picked someone that I wanted you to have a 20-minute free coaching call with, would you do that for me? 20 minutes?
Sure, I'll do that for you, Dave.
Okay. So, by the way, I'm not going to pick a winner if we don't get a good question or a good comment or a good takeaway below. But if someone from this call engages in the community, comments down below, and again, there's no bad questions, but I'm going to pick the best question, the best comment, and I'm going to introduce you to Casey for 20-minute call. So, and please don't take more than 20 minutes of your time. Come prepared.
Oh, don't worry, I'll cut them off. Can you see the whip over here? I don't know if you can see. I got a whip.
I know.
I got a whip over on the wall. I got a Sergeant Casey shirt. Don't worry, I'll cut them off at 20. Hey, but okay. That was really good. Y'all like how we put me on the spot? I mean, come on, Dave. I love that. All right. So
was that just like a great close?
That was a great close. Bam, you won. Okay, so I don't know if everybody can see it. All right, so I'm trying to get my team. They're sending it to me. They just handed it to me. It says the value of a customer. I'm going to come back, and I don't want to miss that because I think everybody's always looking, and the gold is sitting right in front of them, right? So loyalty, yes, I believe there's loyalty. Heck yeah, I believe there's loyalty. Let me show you why.
Hey, wait, Casey, stop real quick, because I want to make sure we see that. So stop sharing your screen real quick and show us that letter and hold it up one more time.
Okay, well, I'm going to, so hold on, let me stop sharing my screen.
Because when it's a small screen and you held it up, we can't see it. And you went and got it. So I want to make sure the goods, stop sharing your screen.
Well, I'm having my team send it to me so I can put it up on the screen. So
okay, guys. So we'll either put it on the screen or we'll share it in comments below. We'll take a picture of it. We'll share it. We're going to make sure whatever Casey wants to show us, you see it. Keep it going, Casey.
Blow y'all's mind when you see it. Okay. So you asked if there's loyalty. I still believe there's amazing loyalty in the market, but it's not something that you just get because you got their loan. You helped them with 5 clients before. You need to remain paranoid about your business. And by the way, I think only the paranoid survive. You guys know that quote. And how? Why? The 4 pillars, you actually said them, Dave. It's right. It's part of our EDGE program, which is why do people do business with you? Well, it's right here. They know you, they like you, they trust you, and you actually help make them money. And so you'll see that little piece. That's how you create loyalty. Is you might market the heck out of your name, and this is a process for selling. And how do you get people to go, oh my gosh, I could never do business with anybody but Casey? And that was not intended by me, but whatever the name is you put in, but I'd love for it to be Zenix, of course. But why do people do business with you? They know you, right? I'm a mom. I got 2 little girls. We've marketed through multiple channels. They get to know who Zenix is, but they got to like you, right? You got to be relatable. The old days of just doing loans and not really exposing who you are, you can still do that, but man, it's not as much fun. And you'll get long-term loyalty when you let people get to know you. And then the trust comes through you actually doing everything you say you're going to do, times 10, right? You never, ever, ever miss the mark. And then you actually make the money. So if you think about the referral program that you have, realtors coming to you, are you making the money? Because you might be exceptional in getting people to know, like, and trust you, but are you getting your team to execute? And so this particular one is our EDGE program. That's our process where we take the 4 pillars. And when you really take, there's 3 steps, by the way, in each of these pillars. Like, how do you get people to know you? How do you get them to like you? Now, it is being authentic, but there is also a process on doing it and getting people to like you. And then what are the 3 things to get them to trust you and to follow through? And so this is this piece of loyalty continues. When people say realtors aren't loyal, and I keep hearing that still to this day, I'm like, they are. Take the ownership and put 3 powerful words in your room. And you can, I don't know if you can see them on my desk over there, and I'm pointing, and it's really small. But those are the 3 words that you got to adapt and adopt into your business if you want to grow at all. And it's, I am responsible. I'm responsible if they're not loyal. I'm responsible if that customer wanted to shop. I'm responsible if I'm only doing 3 units a month, or I'm only doing 10 units a month, wherever you are. What am I going to do? See, I'm responsible for it. So we truly believe that there is loyalty. And when you take the responsibility of bringing value to them, which is ultimately what number 4 is, you're making them money. If you're bringing value, you win. But you can't skip this process. So anyway, that's just a quick thing on getting loyalty, is you got to hit all 4 pillars to be successful.
And did you guys hear that? You have to hit all 4. I mean, if you hit 2 out of 4, it doesn't work. If you hit 3 out of 4, it does not work. These are like 4 things. Schedule, remember, any one of these ideas, 2 extra business, if you think this is the one that you want to work on, schedule some time. Schedule a half hour, schedule an hour, a jam session, and reflect on where you're missing it and work on that.
Dave, do you know where most loan officers say they're missing it, and challenge your community if they're chatting with you right now? Which of those 4 do you think you miss the most often? What do you think the answer is?
I'm gonna guess follow through.
Yeah.
And quality. I think well, here's the deal. I think that more people miss number 4 than they realize, because good is the biggest enemy of great. And we might do all of those, but we think our quality is great. And here's another thing for the mortgage industry, guys. Your competition is not other loan officers. Heck, your competition isn't even in the mortgage industry. When you think of the consumer experience that you're competing with today, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Zillow. It is the big giants of the future. That's your competition. And so you're competing for attention. And I think our industry, like even when I interview the best of the best, there's too much stuff that we do good enough and not enough touch points, both marketing and transactional touch points, that are like the best. And if you want to make the next 10 years better than the last 10 years, you need to fix that, because disruptors are coming. Technology companies that are going to do a great job at every touch point are coming. And so anyways, quick rant. We got 15 minutes. I want to talk about networking, because I know you have a different perspective on what networking is. So what's the Casey Cunningham networking philosophy?
Don't even go to the networking event unless you're going to follow up after the networking event. It's not even worth your time. Because everybody is like, I go to networking events. I'm like, that's great. Right? You got to prepare for it. Who's going to be there? All that. You attend the event. But if you don't do number 3, it's pretty much a waste of time. And your number 1 objective at that networking event, and I'm going to give you some insight here, is you got to prepare for it. And you'll see it, profile it, and we'll give you this these questions that you can have.
You're giving so much value. This is awesome.
I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping. Is that, hey, is it the right networking event to go to? But I got to tell you, we're still in a people-to-people business. And if you want to beat all these, I'm going to I won't say their names, right? These technology lenders that are out there that talk about they can do everything by really fast and they can launch your business, etc. You don't have to worry about your business if the people know you, like you, and trust you. But you should be uber paranoid if you're not in their face on a regular basis to where they think of you first at all the time when it comes to needing their loan officer. So do people know you by name? Because I can tell you right now, I've got a loan officer that emails me. He sends me something in the mail all the time. I can't even remember his name right now. I don't have a personal relationship with him. I get asked on a regular, y'all will love this, right? All the time for loan officers in Georgia, Florida, because I've got loan officers all over the country. And I refer them to the people I trust the most that I know and have a personal relationship. So here in networking, I'm going to challenge you to do one a week. What's your intent at that networking event? Build your database. Did y'all hear me? Build your database, get them into your database, and then start meeting with each one afterwards in a one-on-one. Because see, at a networking, you really shouldn't be talking business at all. This is just getting to know each other. You might get a little bit. But there's something that's called AIR. I don't know if you've ever heard of AIR. I don't have a handout for you, so you might want to write this down. But AIR is about, it's a process. So when you're at a networking event, what do you do? Well, if you're talking to them, A is for advice. Okay, like, hey, what advice would you give me as a loan officer in this market to help drive business further? And they may go, oh, come to my neighborhood community meeting, do X. But AIR is a way to get it away from you selling them, but giving air to the relationship, going, hey, what advice do you have for me? I is tell me more about you and your business and what you're doing. That means information. Gather that information, okay? And then the R stands for referrals. What can I do to help you? Okay, and then of course they're going to immediately go, well, what can I do to help you? And so if I could refer you to someone, what's your ideal client? So did y'all feel the difference? So at a networking event, instead of, hey, I'm going to just put you in my database and I want to do business with you, do you need a mortgage? It's really, let me get to know you. And let me ask your advice. People immediately love being asked advice. So ask them for their advice on how to grow your business, grow your network. You're new to this group. Tell me about it. I'd love your advice on how I should get involved. But it's advice, information, and referrals. And so it changes the dynamics. But most of the LOs, everybody's trying to figure out the realtor referral piece still. Everybody's working on it, and everybody's doing database. Hopefully you're doing both at a whole different level today. The big one is now, are you networking? Are you out? And just don't go out just to network, but go out to grow your database and follow up with them. Does that help at all, Dave?
Yeah, that's such good advice. And I feel like we do a pretty good job of this at Mortgage Coach. But heck, I work so hard to make sure that we follow up from the events, and we drop the ball. So everybody, if you go to an event, who are the 2-3 people you're going to follow up with? And then I'll challenge you, do the text-to-text video. Break through the clutter. Yes, send the email to schedule a meeting, because that's the way you schedule meetings. Email is still a great way to, great seeing you, boom. But remember, we got to personally connect, and we need to get through the clutter, and the inbox is cluttered. So have a meeting, put your mobile phone up against the wall, and it was so great to meet with you. I can't wait to talk about blank and blank and keep it going. Keep it less than a minute. 30 seconds is better. And then confirm the email. Confirm the meeting with an email. Casey, you are killing it with value.
Let me give you this. You know why you should do the video text after? They may not remember who you are. They're like, okay, I met you. Look like, who was she? Let me go out on LinkedIn and check them out. You might have your high school or college picture on there like I do, right? I've gotten a little gray, but I'm working on it. So use the video saying, hey, it's Casey Cunningham again. You and I met yesterday. I can't wait to get to see you again, and really just get to how can I help you and get to know you more. So how about breakfast on Thursday?
Yeah, and remember, the video is just to reconnect. It's not to make your pitch. It's to get to the next step and get the meeting.
My favorite is people like, I don't like the way I look on video. Well, you need to get over yourself, because that's the way you look. Okay, so
yeah, that's the way you look in person.
Trust me, I'm the first to tell you. I look on video and go, oh my God, that's the way I look. Okay, it is what it is, guy. That's what you get. So anyway, sorry, Dave.
No, don't be sorry. It's all good. So hey, we were getting ready to wrap this up. If you have questions for Casey, put them down below. Remember, I'm going to look on YouTube, Facebook. If there's someone that asks something, that to me would be worth getting on the phone with 20 minutes with Casey, I'm going to introduce you. If I don't see any comments, then I just feel like, oh, wow, this is someone that really would appreciate a 20-minute call with Casey. There won't be a winner. But I hope there's a winner. I hope to see some good
Let's
comments
go.
and questions
Let's
down
go.
below.
I only want somebody that really wants to win.
Yeah, really wants to win. So let's do this. You've given us like 6 killer ideas. Any one of them would 2x a business. What is the ultimate formula for success? The ultimate.
Okay, this is, everybody, you can write it down. I've got it on the screen now. It is the formula for success is a few simple disciplines repeated daily. Do you know, Dave, I have coached top producers. I've interviewed top producers. We have top producers in our program because we have a program for top producers called Elite. That's for the best in the industry. And then we have Edge, and then we have Ignite. Ignite's the CrossFit, man. Don't come, you got to apply to get into that one. Every program has disciplines, right? You can have all these ideas like, oh, I got to call my database. You call it once, don't even waste your time. You've got to decide, just like you brush your teeth every morning, what are the simple disciplines that you need to repeat every day? I've given you some examples, like you're going to call your database. I want you to quantify it. I'm going to call 10 people every day. I'm going to call 5 referral sources every day. I'm going to schedule a meeting every day. Y'all hear this daily thing? And I'm going to attend a networking event every week. Now you pick of those 4 which you think, and just embed those simple disciplines into your business. I've given you a bunch of ideas. Maybe it's take a perfect app for the next 5 days and measure, does it feel different? So I want to show you something in just a moment, but the most accomplished athletes in the world, the most professionally well-trained people in the world have consistent disciplines. And we as an owner of a performance company, everybody asked me, what's the secret? And I said, the secret is executing every day and refining that skill to where there's no one better than you and you never waver. You brush your teeth every morning, hopefully. Well, what else do you do about your business every morning? The very best show up at the same time, do the same activities, and they get amazing results. It's not a one and done. It's not doing it just once. I just hopefully you can, and I've got this little document, I'll send you that if y'all want, or you can download it, that just says, just map them out. Just do it for a week and see what happens. And go, man, my business feels different. Here's the 3 things I'm going to adopt into my business. I'm not going to do anything else but those 3. And hopefully prospecting is on the list at a whole different rate than you're doing today. So if you're already doing it, don't put it on the list because that's standard, right? You brush your teeth, don't put that on the list. What are you not doing that are simple disciplines you need to play? And, you know, we can talk more later. I'm very opinionated as well about social media and how to leverage it. I wanted to give things that were practical that all of you could execute today.
I love this.
Simple disciplines repeated daily. And I just invite, you know, gosh, what a privilege it is really, truly, David. I know you got amazing people on here on a regular basis. Some people sell their services. Some are just great loan officers who want to give back. And I'm sort of both, right? I'm like, I want to give this industry who I've dedicated my entire life to. I probably have the largest training team in the country dedicated to this industry. So you guys want to come plug into our system. The Zenix system is all about training, accountability. All our performance programs means we're going to hold you accountable. So you can't just take it and walk. You have to take it and do it to make sure that we are helping you transform your business. So I did promise you that document. So if you do want this, I do want to give it the 10X challenge, Dave. If you're a manager listening in right now and you're like, hey, I'm all in. We had, talk about storytelling. We had a guy who said, I want to put 10 loan officers in Zenix. And I'm like, all right, it's 13 grand. I don't know if you can get anything better than that from Chief. And he goes, the ROI in 2 months, he made $134,000 off a $13,000 investment. You annualize that, $806,000. If you're a loan officer listening in right now, we're experiencing a 40% lift in production on average. So some people are getting 100% lift in a very short period of time, and some are getting a 30% lift. But remember, everybody's at different levels. Some are at 8 wanting to get to 10. Some are at 2 wanting to get to 6. If you're wanting to grow with us and you want to double your production, I challenge you. I told Dave, you're the first in the community, on the country to hear that we have something that's new about to be announced. I don't even have a thing to share with you other than to tell you if you're a branch manager and you have less than 7 loan officers, you're the typical branch in the industry, we have a branch training package just for you where you can get a license to have full access to Zenix. and we'll take care of helping everybody in their performance. All right, so anyway, that was the fast commercial, but let me show you all this.
It's a great, wait, Casey, before you show it, stop sharing your screen. So when we show it, we can see you.
Oh, I'm going to put it on the
Remember, well,
okay.
And,
I got it.
And remember, guys, best question wins. You could put down below, what are the 3 things you're going to do every day?
I love that.
And I highly, first of all, you can't be successful if prospecting and calling is not one of them. Even Mortgage Coach, as awesome as our technology is, we can't help you if you're not talking to families, if you're not prospecting with realtors. But I can also assure you, if you're not delivering a total cost analysis, you're not delivering a transformational experience. So that should be one of your 3. But I can't wait to see what your 3 is. Put it below. And Casey, what are we looking at?
All right, so what you're looking at is this is easy stuff. I'll just do quick, right? Somebody's really happy. They're going to be less price sensitive, less likely to go to a competitor. They're going to give you more referrals, and they're more likely to come back to you. So you're going to make more money, right? Ultimately. But I just want to show you this. If one customer sent you 2 referrals, and those 2 referrals sent you 2 customers, those 4 sent you 2, those 8 sent you 2, look at how many referrals you get. The industry is horrific about asking for referrals from their database and taking one amazingly happy customer and getting 2 referrals. And then you can see the exponential number. The math cannot be disproven. So why aren't all of you blowing up your business? I'm going to challenge you. You want to 2x your business? Take care of your customer today and ask for 2 referrals. And then do that forever and watch what happens. Then you want to worry about your referrals. That was the big finale.
All right. Take down your screen. I'm sharing your desktop. Guys, we will get a link down below. Casey, if you could have someone share links. Also, I want a picture of that. I'm on my phone, so I couldn't take a picture. But if you got value from today's call, please like it in YouTube or Facebook. Share it with your team. Put a challenge around what matters most to you. Focus on something. And Casey, one last closing thought. If you were giving advice to your 25-year-old self, new loan officer, getting in the business, or a family member getting in the mortgage business, 1 minute, what advice would you give to your 25-year self?
Oh my God, anybody getting into the mortgage business, what advice? Jump in and get ready for the best ride of your life, but get trained properly. Don't do it like the majority of us did it and that was trying to figure it out as we went. People do that all the time. Managers are like, come on, I'll teach you. And I'm like, man, you know how much time you're wasting? In less than 3 weeks, I can get everybody telling you Fannie, Freddie, FHA, and VA, and I can get them verbally understanding what you're saying. 2 weeks after that, they can deal structure, they can talk to customers, and then I'm put them in the market. And so people have this wrong opinion about our industry. It's too hard, and that's why we exist. We live to help you guys grow people. I would tell my kids who see me every day, this is an amazing industry. You get to change people's lives. And what a privilege that you get to help them with the American dream. I mean, think about it from the context. I get to help people achieve the American dream. I mean, I'm not going to marry them or deliver babies, but I'm going to get them into the home of their dreams. Don't today, all of you who are highly productive, don't forget how passionate it is to make a decision about a home. And just love on your career and be grateful. And you are blessed. We're all blessed. I would, of course, selfishly, Dave, I know you didn't put this, or maybe you did, get them into Zenix. We will take care of them. We have personal coaches that are assigned the day they start, and we take them through their career while they're in our program. And our first objective is their first 30 days is 4 applications. People think we're crazy, but we're getting it every single time. So I just appeal to all of you, if you, and I'd invite you all to the edge. Dave, this download, not this page, but the download is on our site, by the way. They can go to Zenix.com and click on it. And if you want to get that playbook I just gave you, my team's like, you know what? We've given the playbook, but I hopefully brought it to life for many of you to realize you might have some misses in your business, but just don't worry about all 7. Just pick one. Just pick one.
Love that, guys. So mic drop from Casey Cunningham. And for those of you that are, you know, 2 years, 3 years in the business and you're still repeating your first year, get trained up. You know, if you haven't been through Casey's program, get through it. If you're not watching a mortgage coach video, you know, weekly, you know, get trained up. And Casey, you crushed it. Appreciate you. Can't wait till the next time we do something fun together, and have an awesome day. Take care, y'all. Yeah, and remember, if you're going to be at Mastermind, come up to me. If you want a sticker, Dave, I want a mortgage coach sticker. I've done this many TCAs. You'll have it. Take care, y'all.
Hey, take care, everybody. Thanks, Dave.